On December 21st, 1945, Russian soldiers faced a very dangerous battle, a fierce fight against the German army. This battle lasted 3 days. Eventually, Russian reinforcements arrived and the German soldiers were outnumbered. As a result, all German soldiers surrendered. They were sentenced to life imprisonment. Let's find out, what kind of prison was it? How did Russian soldiers treat them? Did they ever escape, or did they all die inside that prison? Join us as we uncover the truth. At the beginning of the video, we see the Siberian prison, where a large number of German soldiers were held captive. After World War II, Russia captured these German soldiers in a battle and sentenced them to life imprisonment. Russia sent these prisoners to a prison located about 15,000 kilometers away, a prison deep in the wilderness, surrounded by nothing but forests. This was a prison with no gates and no clear roads. Escaping from this prison was impossible because the prisoners would have to travel 15,000 kilometers without food or supplies. The prisoners were afraid of this harsh journey, thinking it was better to stay and work there than to try to escape and likely die from hunger or cold. First, the prisoners were transported by train for 10,000 kilometers. After the train route ended, they had to continue on foot for another 5,000 kilometers. During this journey, they were given very little food, and the extreme cold made the conditions even worse. Many prisoners died on the way, and those who survived still had to endure 2 more years before finally reaching the prison. In this prison, a severe punishment called the gallows was used on the prisoners. These German soldiers spent a full 25 years in this prison. No one tried to escape because anyone who attempted would likely die from hunger and cold. Among the prisoners was one named Clemen, who wanted to escape because he missed his wife and son. Clemen had spent 25 years in the prison, but he did not want to live the rest of his life there. One time, Clemen got a chance to escape. He hid inside a coal train. After the train had traveled a short distance, he looked up at the sky and saw stars, which made him very happy. Unfortunately, the train stopped shortly after, and when Clemen looked outside, he saw a soldier standing there with a gun, meaning he was caught. As a punishment, Clemen was locked in a deep pit for 2 full days. After that, the prison chief came, pulled him out of the pit, and told him that the other prisoners were waiting for him as friends. When Clemen returned to the other prisoners, they were all standing with sticks in their hands because they hadn't been given food for 2 days due to Clemen's escape attempt. All the prisoners came after him and beat him severely. He was beaten so badly that he fell into a coma. The prison doctor, who was also a German prisoner, reassured Clemen about his condition. When Clemen recovered a little, he told the doctor that he wanted to try escaping again and asked for his help. The doctor told him that escaping from this prison was nearly impossible. If he tried to escape, he would likely die from the cold outside, and if he stayed, he would die soon anyway, because the coal wagons in the prison contained poisonous gas that could kill a person. Despite the warning, the doctor encouraged Clemen to try again. He gave him warm boots, warm clothes, and a pistol. The doctor secretly helped hide all these items from the Russian soldiers. Doctor himself wanted to escape because he had recently been diagnosed with cancer and was told by the doctor that he only had about 1 month left to live. And the doctor told him that if he succeeded in escaping, his family would be told he had died, so they should stop waiting for him. Every morning, the doctor reminded him of this. One night, Clemen got the chance to escape again. This time, instead of boarding the train, he escaped on foot. The next morning, when the prison chief found out that Clemen had escaped, he immediately went to the doctor, but the doctor was already dead, having poisoned himself beforehand. After this, the prison chief sent Russian soldiers and spies to search for Clemen for several days, but they couldn't find him. Everyone assumed Clemen had died in the wilderness from cold or hunger, but the prison chief believed Clemen was very strong and resilient, and that's why he kept the search going. Meanwhile, we see Clemen, full of energy, traveling through the wilderness. After 9 days of travel, he hears the howls of wild dogs. He looks back and sees the dogs and soldiers chasing him, but he cannot escape. At this point, Clemen wakes up. It was all just a dream. In reality, he had already traveled 9 days, and his food had run out. He was very exhausted, and it had become extremely difficult to keep moving forward, but Clemen did not give up and kept going. After traveling a long distance, his leg got stuck somewhere in the snow, and he lost consciousness. After a few hours, he regained awareness and heard a strange sound. He saw 2 fish nearby in the water. He took out his pistol and shot one of the fish, and from that, he regained hope and strength. Clemen escaped from that place, but the fish was still following him. The fish swam close to the water, and Clemen threw a stone at it. This time, he managed to catch the fish, which made him very happy because he had found a source of food. The fish's belly was warm inside, and after warming himself up there, he continued his journey. After traveling a good distance, Clemen saw a small plant. He was happy and approached the plant because he realized that a forest was nearby and the snow was melting. Meanwhile, the prison chief ordered his soldiers to search within a 500 kilometers radius to find the prisoner. After traveling some more, Clement reached the forest where he planned to spend the night, make a fire, gather some wood, and rest. The next morning, a storm came with such force that it uprooted large trees from the ground. During this storm, a tree fell on Clement. He got caught, but luckily for him, that day 2 hunters had come to the forest for hunting. They saw Clement and saved him. Then the 3 of them started their journey together. After 100 days, they passed the snow and reached a green forest. Soon, they came across a river. To cross it, they got into a small wooden boat and started rowing. While on the river, they talked with each other, but the current suddenly became strong, and the boat went out of control. One of their friends, named Seem, fell out of the boat and couldn't swim. Clement jumped after him and managed to pull him to the riverbank. The purpose was so their other friend, Matin, could take advantage of this and escape alone. Matin went to a nearby wooden house where Seem lived, but Matin made a mistake. He thought, come on, my friend Seem might be dead. I should hide the body quickly. So he hid the body and other belongings. Soon, Seem and Clement arrived there. Seem was very angry about this betrayal and shot Matin, killing him. After this, Seem and Clement gathered their belongings and left the place. They traveled for several days until they found a settlement. Unfortunately, snow started falling again, making their journey even harder. Seem's belongings were heavy and difficult to carry. Clement told him to give him the belonging, and he would carry them. Seem thought Clement was like his previous friend, a thief, and hit him, leaving him unconscious there. A little later, Clement regained consciousness and saw jackals approaching him. To save himself, he climbed a tree, but one jackal caught his leg, breaking the tree, and he fell down. At that moment, the sound of gunshots was heard. When Clement looked, he saw that all the jackals were lying dead. Hunters had saved him. Then they took Clement with them to their village, where they helped him a lot. Eventually, the village became a proper settlement. Clement spent a few days there. One day, news arrived that a prisoner had escaped from the camp, and anyone who helped him would be sentenced to death. The villagers told Clement to leave the area. Before leaving, they gave him plenty of food and supplies, and even gave him a dog companion. After a few days of traveling through the forest, Clement saw a wooden machine. The dog ran toward the machine, chasing food. But the people near the machine caught the dog and took it to their leader. The leader initially thought Clement was a thief, but when Clement told his story, they felt sorry for him and helped him greatly. Later, these people also helped Clement get on a German train. At this point, Clement was very happy, thinking he would finally go back to his family. But he didn't know that the machine leader had already informed the prison chief. Meanwhile, Russian soldiers were already waiting at the train station when the train arrived. Clement realized that things had gone wrong and the train was slowing down. Because of this bad luck, Russian soldiers saw him and started chasing him. At that prison near the forest, the prison chief tried to catch him, but Clement's dog jumped on him. Clement took advantage of this moment and escaped from that place. At that moment, a gunshot was fired. When Clement looked back, he saw the soldiers had shot his dog. Still, Clement kept running. He reached a bridge and jumped onto a moving train. With this trick, he managed to escape from the Russian soldiers once again. Time passed, and Clement continued his journey. By this time, almost a year had passed since Clement escaped from the prison. He arrived at a small market, but he was very hungry. He saw different kinds of food there, but he kept moving forward without eating. Then he saw 2 children eating bread, but he did not ask for any. At that moment, one of the children felt sorry for Clement and gave him some bread. Clement was very happy and ate the bread. In the market, there was a man watching everything. Clement entered a mosque, and that man followed him there. The man told Clement not to be afraid and said that he had also been a prisoner like him. The man said he was not going to give Clement to the Russian soldiers, but was there to help him. The man took Clement to his home, where Clement recovered and got back on his feet. Then that man gave Clement a new passport, meaning he could cross the German border. Before leaving, Clement thanked him for his help and continued on his way. When Clement reached the border, he handed his passport to the Russian soldier. At that moment, he was very scared, fearing the soldiers would catch him. Luckily, the soldier told him to cross the border. As Clement crossed the border, he felt very happy. Halfway across, a sharp light flashed into Jonas's eyes. When he looked back, he saw the prison chief standing there. Clement realized the prison chief was now on the Russian side. He feared the prison chief might still catch him, and his heart broke because all his years of struggle seemed wasted. Then, the prison chief moved aside and let Clement pass. Clement couldn't believe it and thought he must be dreaming. Still very afraid, he moved forward. The prison chief was also upset, but didn't want Clement's years of hardship to be in vain, so he allowed him to leave. Clement crossed the border and returned to his homeland, Germany. After that, he went to his home where his wife and daughter were. They were walking somewhere, and his daughter recognized him and ran toward him. Soon after, his wife also came from the other side, and finally, after many years, Clement was reunited with his family. This is a true story. At the end of the video, it says, "How did you like this story? Was there any part you especially enjoyed? What lesson did you learn from it? Would you like us to upload more stories like this? Please write your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to watch more videos like this on our channel, don't forget to subscribe. Please give this video a like because it doesn't cost you anything. And whenever we upload a new video, you'll be the first to see it. Thank you for watching.